Good morning, everyone. This is Ryan Nash. I'm going to take you guys through how to set up a remote desktop connection so you can use this at your house or anything that you have as far as computers go, where you need to get into the file server and you're not at work. Most of the actual DSLD computers already have this set up, so it's not going to be an issue for many of you. But the people who do not have it at their house and would like to be able to get in to do some work at home sometimes, this will help make it a little more convenient for you. So if you click on the window-based computer I've got running here. I'm running it inside of a Mac, so this is what you're going to see as far as your desktop goes. So just ignore this other stuff. It has nothing to do with it. This orb down at the bottom is on Windows 7 in this machine. You may have Windows Vista. It has an orb as well. It looks a little different, but for all intents and purposes, it does the same thing. Windows XP's got Start down here, and at that point, you would need to go search for files to locate the remote desktop. But this is actually really convenient for both Vista and Windows 7 because it has a search bar. So you'll type in remote, and really it's remote desktop connection, but as you can see, I just typed remote in and it filtered it down to where there's the remote desktop connection. So that's what I'm looking for. That's the easiest way to find it. You can go find it in the control panel, but that's not necessary. So what I'm going to do is left click and drag it onto my desktop. Now I created a shortcut, and that shortcut is going to take me to the remote desktop connection manager. So as you can see, when I click on it, it comes up with this dialog box, and I've already got our information in there, but what you will see is example, none specified, and what you'll need to type in there is the computer name, which is remote.dsldhomes.com. Once you type in that computer name, you're going to need to click connect, and mine obviously has my credential in it already, but you're going to type your credentials into this box. It actually is going to require you to type DSLD Homes / in my case rnash, usually the first letter of your first name and your last name, but whatever the prefix of your email is. So say it's Bobby at DSLD Homes or whatever it might be, that would be what you would put in after the DSLD Homes / whatever the prefix of your email is. So you should know what your email is. That's pretty much going to be your username. The only thing that you're really going to need that you may or may not know is the password. If you don't know this information, there's really no way to retrieve it other than ask Mark to reset your password. Mark's the one that's got the powers to do that. No one else has admin privileges to my knowledge, so maybe shoot a quick email over to him and ask him, hey, can you reset my server password? That way I can get into the remote desktop connection. And he'll put to something that you know what it is, 4Qs or password or whatever it might be. That way you know what it is. Once you got that information, you'll go in and you'll type it in. So I'm going to go ahead and put my password in. And I'm going to click remember my credentials, and the reason you're doing that is because the next time you go in here you won't have to type anything in, it'll just be saved. So that's pretty helpful. Keeps you from having to do rework, so I would recommend doing that unless it's an unsecure computer at a library or something like that where you obviously you don't want to save that kind of stuff. So it's going to start securing the connection. It's going to take a little bit of time the first time, but it gets pretty snappy after that. You shouldn't have a huge amount of lag time after the first time you set it up. And as you can see, it's starting to log in. So there's my desktop inside of the Windows file server. I can continue to work just as if I were in the office on my computer at work or wherever I might be. So you guys basically can follow the same process on any Windows-based computer, and you should be able to get the same result. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out just to show you what it looks like. Okay, it's saying disconnecting. I'll click OK. You really can't hurt it. So there's that shortcut we set up before. So I'm going to double click that. You'll see it's got remote.dsldhomes.com. You didn't have to put that back in. It's got my username and it will save my password because I clicked save my credentials. So if you didn't click save my credentials, it's just going to have the username and you'll have to go back and put your password. But if you'll do that, remember my credentials on initial setup, you won't have to worry about that. If you'd like it to be a little more secure, if it's in an insecure location or you don't want your kids getting on it or something, you may want to leave the password off there. So back into the server, as you can see, it's pretty snappy now, and I can go in here and do some work. Well, Appreciate your time, and if you have any questions, you can email me. Thank you.